Hi, you guys. Lady Rochelle here, author, survivor, cancer advocate, joining in on a conversation for World Cancer Day. So join me as we talk about what World Cancer Day means to us. Hi, you guys. Lady Rochelle here, author, survivor, cancer advocate, joining in on a conversation to talk about World Cancer Day. I could not let this day go by without having this conversation. So I know a lot of people may be out, enjoying the evening. It's Friday. It's cold outside. I'm in Chicago. So I hope that you would be kind and you will rewind this video so that you can get this important information. So let's talk about World Cancer Day. What is it? What does it mean to you? And what can you do to help spread the initiative? The theme for this year for World Cancer Day is Close the Care Gap. And this theme will last till 2024. And so they're trying to come up with ways to where they can make sure that individuals who are diagnosed with cancer get the same quality care as someone who has money, someone who lives in, a nice area, someone who has insurance, and someone who has access to go to the doctor, because we do know that there are some disparities when it comes to any type of cancer when you live in a certain area and you don't have the income or the lack of insurance, or you're underinsured, right? So World Cancer Day is bringing awareness about closing that care gap so that individuals can get quality care across the board. So it doesn't matter your situation, you should be able to get the same care. If you go to the doctor and you're diagnosed with cancer, some individual may get treatment a week or two after their diagnosis. But if you're in a low income area and you don't have access to, go to the doctor, you may not get into treatment for 2 to 6 months. And we already know that those cells are multiplying and dividing inside of you. So the sooner you could get into treatment, the sooner that you can tackle the cancer. So that's one of the reasons why they're wanting to close that gap, is because people are dying unnecessarily because they're not having that early detection, getting to the doctor on time so that you can have early detection. And early detection means that the treatment that you have access to more treatment, right? When you're diagnosed in the later stages, then your options are few. But if you get in there early with early detection, then you have more options on what you can do, and you have a better outcome of treatment when you are getting that treatment early, right? When you're getting in there to get exactly what you need, and you have the different options to where you don't have to just settle for, okay, you only have to do this because you're coming in here at stage 4 and we don't have many options for you. So closing the care gap is all about prevention. It's about treatment, and it's about getting the information out there. We talk about awareness, but we want you to do more than just be aware. Have conversations with your family, have conversations with your doctor, talk about your risk as it relates to cancer, talk to the people in your family. I cannot push this enough. If you have one person in your family that has cancer, then that means you have a history of cancer, right? Some people just like to brush over it and ignore it and say, oh, well, I don't have cancer in my family, but my uncle had it. But we make it seem like it's an isolated case, right? But it's not an isolated case. That means you have cancer in your family. So just investigate it. Doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer, but you should know, what's going on in your family as it relates to your medical history. So the World Health Organization reported that in 2021, that in the world, there were an estimated 20 million people diagnosed with cancer. And out of that, 10 million died. Like, that's half, right? And so, and with the close the care gap, they're saying that shouldn't be, right? That people should be getting in earlier for that early detection. We should not have this many people dying when, there is treatment for cancer, there is cures for certain cancers, right? And so if you're getting in there early enough, and you have access to treatment, then we should not have this high number when it comes to deaths. So again, we're all about prevention, treatment, and spreading awareness and early detection. And early detection means that you're getting in there early enough to get treatment so that you can have a better outcome. Everybody knows somebody who has had a cancer diagnosis, or someone who's knows someone who have had a cancer diagnosis. So according to the medical news today, 1 in 2 women and 1 in 2 men in the US will develop cancer in their lifetime. So put 2 women in the room, right? And then one of them is going to develop cancer. You put 3 men in the room, one of them will develop cancer in their lifetime. So those numbers are pretty high. Cancer is a common disease right now. Back in the day when I was growing up, cancer was just like, some foreign disease that, only old people get. You really didn't hear, or maybe by me being younger, I really didn't pay attention to it, because at that time in my family, we didn't have anybody, who had cancer. So cancer seemed like it was foreign, but now cancer is like so common. It's almost like, well, it is. It's like the common cold. Every time you turn around, somebody is diagnosed with cancer. Somebody is dying from cancer. Somebody is fighting cancer. So with it being that common, they're saying that if people have access to health, to where they can go to the doctor and get the good quality treatment, just like anybody else. It shouldn't matter what your income is. It shouldn't matter if you don't have insurance. If you do have insurance, you still should be allowed to get treatment in quality treatment and on-time treatment. Your treatment should not be delayed because of your situation, right? So that's where that closing the care gap come from. It's like, no, everybody should get the same quality care. It doesn't matter. You should have the same fighting chance for your life. It's a matter of life and death when it comes to treatment, when it comes to individuals not being able to get their medicine, or even don't go to the doctor because you don't have a copay. You have to decide, I'm going to pay my light bill, or I'm going to buy food, or I'm going to go to the doctor and do this copay. And some people, if you have a family, you may feed your family, and you may say, I'll get half of the medicine because I don't have enough money to get all of the medicine, right? And when you're fighting cancer, you can't do that. You can't skimp on the medicine and say, oh, I'm not going to get all of this because I don't have the money to do it. You have to be able to get what it is that you need, especially when it comes to food. You have to be able to put those nutrients back in your body, because that cancer treatment is stripping you of all of those nutrients. So you have to make sure you're putting quality food in your body to build your immune system back up, right? So those cells can, reproduce. But a lot of times they're in food deserts, right? The patients are in food deserts to where they don't have access to good quality food. So what do? You go to the corner store and you get the junk that's at the corner store, and you figure, like, I can get some noodles, they $3-4, versus going to get, a salad, and with some chicken, and you cutting up the chicken with the salad with some tomatoes and some cucumbers. You're going to get what your money can afford. And unfortunately, that plays very heavily on your health when you're not eating right, or you're not putting the right nutrients in your body. You're making unhealthy selections, but you're doing it because you don't have a choice because of your situation. So World Cancer Day is important because we want to make sure that we get everybody talking about cancer, right? Everybody. Because if everybody's talking about it, that means everybody is aware. That means that everybody should be knowing their risk and should be doing something about it. You know the different milestones when it comes to the different tests that you have to take. And if you don't know, you can type it in Google and say, hey, you know, I am 50. What test do I need to take as it relates to cancer? And it'll bring up the test that you need to take. You could put in, hey, I have someone in my family that has cancer. What would be my risk? And it'll tell you. I'll use breast cancer as an example. 15% have a hereditary link. 85% of women diagnosed with breast cancer don't have a hereditary link. So what does that tell you? That your environment may play a role in it. Stress may play a role in it. It may not have, you may not have the hereditary link. So don't be afraid that if you do have somebody that has cancer in your family, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it, but you should know what your risk is. And as it relates to, cancer, you should have that peace of mind. Don't I heard someone say, don't deny but verify it, so that you can have a peace of mind and you won't have to be surprised and be like, hey, oh, you go to the doctor and you go when you have these, you're in pain almost, limbs almost falling off because you're too nervous to go. Don't be afraid to go. If you got to take somebody with you, take somebody with you, but just go so that you can clarify what's going on with your body or what's not going on with your body. So I'm here to push World Cancer Day because I am a cancer survivor. And I was one of those people that thought that it couldn't happen to me. Why? Because I felt like I was healthy. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I ate right. And it's like, I did all those things. They said, oh, you breastfeed your baby and you don't have to, it decreases your chances of having cancer, all of these different things. And all these things that I felt like I was doing did not eliminate me altogether from getting a cancer diagnosis. Now, I always say that my cancer diagnosis I feel like it was linked to stress. I was really stressed, a couple of years leading up to my cancer diagnosis. So, and we always say stress is a silent killer, right? So that's what I contributed to be. So you just have to do your own assessment to figure out what's going on in your world, what you need to do to make sure that you're living a healthy lifestyle and that you live a long time. And that's going to deal with the food that you're putting in your body. It's going to deal with exercise. It's going to deal with you getting those milestone tests that you need to get to go to the doctor. It's going to deal with all of those things. And a lot of times we like to avoid those things. We don't like to face them. And they're not going to go away just because if the doctor tell you have a cancer diagnosis and you don't do anything about it, it doesn't mean that it's going to go away. Those cells are still multiplying and dividing in your body, and you need to do something about it. Thank you, Mylea. And you need to do something about it. So face it, do what you need to do so that you can get the care that you need so that you can go on to live a quality life. Many cancer survivors are still dealing with the aftermath of cancer. I tell you, you would think, oh, I'm done with treatment, so I don't have to do anything else. No, you still have issues that you're dealing with, but you're here, right? And there are things that you can deal with. Mylea said health is important. We have to take care of ourselves and not avoid it. And that's so true. You can't avoid it. Just do it and get it over with. Cross it off your list. That's something. Okay. I got my colonoscopy last year. Did I want to go get that colonoscopy? No, but I knew that I was 50 and I knew that I had to get it. And I knew that I already had cancer. So I was already at a high risk because I had cancer. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything that I could to not have that type of diagnosis. So I as nervous as I was, I went and got it done. And then I was able to have a peace of mind after that because then the doctor told me I didn't have to come back for another 10 years. So I was happy that I got it. Now, if I didn't get it, then it would just be in the back of my mind, like, oh, I hope I don't get colon cancer. Oh, if something's going on with me, I'd be like, oh, is that colon cancer? No, I went and got the test done so that I would have a peace of mind. So I'm just telling you to do the things that you need to do so that you can have a peace of mind. For you and your family, you can have a peace of mind. And I push genetic testing all the time. And genetic testing is there is if you have cancer in your family, you could go and get the genetic testing just to see if it's hereditary or not. It may not, like I said, it may not affect you. Just because somebody else had cancer, that doesn't mean you're going to get it. But um, I wanted to give my girls a peace of mind. And so I took the genetic testing so that I let them know that it wasn't hereditary. Again, I link mine to stress, right? So I'm just telling you to take charge of your life, take control of cancer. And the way that you take charge of cancer is to stay steps ahead of it, right? Steps ahead of it. So that means getting all of the tests that you need to get to eliminate though, okay, I took this test, I ain't got to worry about that cancer. I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'm not being stressed out, I'm doing everything my doctor tells me to do, to decrease your chances of getting a cancer diagnosis. Again, so that you can have a peace of mind. So we talked about people not having access to quality care, right? And having access to quality care, it could be a matter of life or death for an individual. If you don't have transportation to get there, if you don't have a babysitter, you can't get there. Or if you don't have the maybe the money to get on the bus to get to the place, or if the place is a distance from you and you don't have money maybe Uber, and nobody wants to take you, right? Because they're avoiding you because you have cancer, right? So that's what World Cancer Day is all about. It's about bringing awareness to all of those things that individuals are lacking when it comes to their cancer treatment, right? And that's part of cancer treatment. If you can't get to the cancer day for you to get your treatment, then that puts a damper on the whole plan that the doctor has for you, right? It sets everything back, right? And so the last thing you want to do is to delay treatment. And we know that treatment has been delayed with COVID, and they are talking about that there are going to be a lot of people coming in with late stage cancers because of COVID, because some treatments were being pushed back because they just have to be safe when it comes to COVID. They didn't know a lot of things that was happening with COVID, so a lot of people's treatment got pushed back, or a lot of people was afraid to go to the hospital because of COVID, and so they didn't go. And so now they're trying to get in there and get the treatment that they need, and hopefully that the doctors can still be on top of it. So those are just some of the barriers that individuals face when it comes to fighting cancer. And again, World Cancer Day is about bringing awareness to that, shedding light on the barriers that individuals face and how we can change that narrative. Some people have lack of social support, lack of insurance. It could be lack of communication from your healthcare provider. They may not be telling you everything. It just may be, okay, you need treatment, and if you don't get this treatment, you're going to die. And they may not be giving you all of the details that you need to make an informed decision, right? Because that does happen, because sometimes they're seeing a lot of patients. So they may try to rush you through treatment and not give you all of the information that you need to make an informed decision. Because once you make that decision, it's not like, you in chemo and you're like, oh, I don't want to do chemo no more, but you done already started it. So you're going to have some of those effects, right? So just the breakdown in communication when it comes to healthcare. What is it that you need in order to survive this cancer diagnosis? Do I need to talk to, a counselor to help me work through this? Because a lot of times they don't even mention that. So, and that's a breakdown in communication as well. So what can you do to bring this to a close? What can you do to help close the care gap when it comes to cancer? Again, this is World Cancer Day. And so what you can do, what I'm doing right now is just spreading awareness and educating individuals on what World Cancer Day is about, right? And what you can do is if you know someone that is dealing with cancer, call them up and see what they need, right? See if they need a ride to their treatment. See if they need money for a copay or money to get medicine. Better yet, send some groceries to their house, right? So those are some things that you can do to make sure, or help them research, places where they can get quality treatment, and then help them get there, because a lot of times people don't want to be bothered. So, don't be one of those people. Help them to make informed decisions, to put the power in their hands so that they can take control of cancer. You don't have to be helpless. You don't have to be defensive. When it comes to cancer, their treatment has come a long way, right? Than it was in the past. I'm a living witness because I was diagnosed in 2013. So here I am, and with treatment, and by the grace of God, I am here, right? So again, it's World Cancer Day, and I just wanted to hop on. I didn't want this day to go by without me making sure that I'm doing my part to spread awareness, push prevention, push early detection, and push equality treatment for everybody. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, share this video out. That's one way that you can help as it relates to closing the care gap with World Cancer Day. Share it, like it, comment. If you know somebody that's dealing with cancer, then send them the video so that they can take control of cancer and not be afraid and live in lack because of their situation. So again, thank you for tuning in. This is Lady Rochelle, and I am a survivor. I am a cancer advocate and an author and the founder of Warriors Talk. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, share the video, and hopefully somebody else will get this information.